3 days after telling me I was a disappointment who'll never amount to anything, my mom posted online about her perfect son graduating with honors. It wasn't me. Then she called saying, "We're throwing him a huge party. You're paying for the catering. $2,000 due now." When I asked, "Why would I pay for that?" She yelled, "Because you owe us for existing." I just laughed and said, "I don't owe you shit. Be glad I stayed this long." That night, I did something I promised I never would. Now they're panicking, blowing up my phone. Mom's in tears. She can't breathe. He refuses to go on stage without you. Just come back. We'll do anything. Okay, so this is mostly just me needing to vent, but like, if you've ever had parents who straight up forget you exist unless they want something, maybe you'll get it. IDK. I'm not looking for therapy advice, just FYI. So I noticed something weird a few days ago, right after graduation season started up. My mom's one of those who posts every single thing on Facebook like it's her full-time job, but this time she went all out. There's this picture of my brother Wesley in his cap and gown. Huge post about how proud how her perfect son is graduating with honors, and how she couldn't be happier as a mother. Whole thing is public too, like she wants everyone to see. Obviously, I'm not in any of the pics. Not one mention of me or my graduation last month. Not a tag, not even a congrats to both my boys. Nothing. That's just how it is, though. What gets me is it's not even like Wesley's some genius or something. He's just loud. Always has to be the center of everything, and mom eats it up. I've always been the one who just keeps my head down. Tries not to rock the boat so I can save money and get out. But she's got this thing about him. Always has. I guess it's because he looks more like her side. And he's always been that kid who'll say what she wants to hear, you know? Like she needs him to play the golden child so she can show off. I'm just there, I guess. So anyway, I see this post in NGL. I'm annoyed, but whatever, it's not new. I don't even really use Facebook, but my cousin Angela sent me a screenshot like, "WTF is this about?" And I just laughed it off. I figured it'd blow over, but then literally 3 days later I'm in the kitchen and mom comes in, all business. Looks at me like I'm some employee she's about to fire. She starts in with the usual, "Why can't I be more like Wesley? I'm lazy. I'm selfish." She's disappointed. All that. I just let her go off. I'm not really listening at this point. I just scroll my phone and try not to say anything that'll set her off worse. I guess I should have seen what was coming, but honestly, I was just tired. So she finishes, and then, as I'm about to leave, she blocks the door and says, "You know, we're throwing a huge party for Wesley's graduation. We want it to be special, and you're paying for the catering." Not asking. She says it like it's just a given, like, obviously, I'm gonna drop $2,000 on food for a party I'm not even invited to. I literally laugh and ask her what she's talking about. Why would I pay for that? And she straight up yells that I owe them for existing. Like, that's a real thing a person can say. She's not even embarrassed. I was just mad that I'm not already handing her my card. At that point, it's like something just broke in my head. I mean, I've put up with years of this, her acting like I'm this burden, like I'm in the way, like nothing I do is ever enough. I pay rent, I pay my own bills, I barely eat their food, I do my own laundry. I even run errands for her half the time. But apparently that's not enough. I'm supposed to just write a check for $2,000 so Wesley can have his day, and she can post more proud mom pics. It's always Wesley. Always. I call her out. I say I'm not paying. She starts yelling louder. My dad comes in and does his usual. Just stands there and tells me to stop making things difficult. He never actually picks a side, but he'll always back her up to keep the peace. I don't even bother arguing with him. No point. Wesley wasn't even around. He was probably out with friends or hiding in his room playing games, pretending he doesn't hear anything. That's his thing. He acts like he's above all this, but he's the first one to go running to mom if he needs money or needs someone to fight his battles. So she gets in my face, actually pushes me, which, yeah, that's new. Like, she's never gotten physical before, but I guess she really wanted to make her point. I step back and she tries to block me again, so I just walk around her. She slams the door behind me. I hear her still yelling, but I'm done. I go out to the garage just to get away for a sec. I'm so pissed I can't even think straight. I guess I kind of expected this, but IDK. It still throws me when it actually happens. Fast forward a few hours, group chat with the family starts blowing up. Apparently mom's already told everyone that I refuse to help with Wesley's party and how hurt she is. I get a couple texts from my aunt asking what happened. I don't answer. Not worth it. I know how this goes. If I say anything, it just gets spun around and I'm the bad guy again. Always. Then, not even a day later, she calls me at work. She says she needs the money immediately. The catering people need a deposit and she already gave them my name, so it's on me if anything gets canceled. I tell her again, I'm not paying. And she just loses it. Full on screaming this time, says I'm ungrateful. I'm a failure, that I owe them for putting up with me all these years. I'm not proud of it, but I laughed. I just laughed and said I don't owe you shit. Be glad I stayed this long. She hangs up on me. I get home and it's dead silent. Dad won't even look at me. Mom's in her room, slamming drawers. I hear her on the phone, probably telling her friends what a monster I am. Wesley finally shows up doesn't say a word, just gives me this look like I ruined his life. He's always gotten that from her, that whole "you're ruining everything" vibe. I don't care anymore. I'm not paying for his party. I'm not paying for anything. I'm not even going. I know she thinks she can just guilt me into caving, but honestly, I'm over it. I'm done being the backup plan. I don't owe them anything. Not after all this. The funny part is, I actually had some money set aside for something else, but now she's not seeing a cent from me. She can explain to everyone why there's no food at her perfect son's party. I'm not bailing her out again. I don't even care if they kick me out at this point. I'm not letting them walk all over me. If they want a war, fine. I can play that game. And I'm not the one who's going to lose this time. Next part. I'll tell you what happened when things started to really go sideways. Let's just say Mom's big day didn't go the way she wanted. Update 1. So after the whole "you owe us for existing" thing, I thought maybe they'd just stew for a while and leave me alone. That's what usually happens. I just keep my head down, listen to music, stay out of the way, and let them cool off. But this time, nah. Mom's got that look like she's ready to make this her whole identity. It's the morning after. I'm just making a bagel and she comes in already on the phone, talking super loud about how some people don't appreciate family. I try not to react, but she keeps glancing at me like she wants a fight. I go to take my shower, and when I get out, my phone has 10 missed calls. All from some number I don't know. Turns out she gave the catering place my number after all. And now they're texting me about my confirmed order and asking for a deposit. I'm not even surprised, TBH, just annoyed. I screenshot it, send it to her, and tell her to fix it herself. She leaves me on read. I think she thought I'd just panic and pay up to make it go away, but I'm not that easy. About an hour later, Dad gets home and now he's stomping around, slamming drawers. He barely talks to me unless something's broken or he needs help moving furniture, but this time he calls me into the living room and tells me I'm disrespecting the family and I need to step up and be a man. He says if I'm not going to pay for the party, maybe I shouldn't live there anymore. Maybe it's time I figure things out on my own. I just stare at him. I know he's just parroting whatever Mom said. He always does this. He acts tough but won't actually kick me out. BC, he knows it'll look bad to her friends. Still, I don't say anything. He gets up, mutters something about how I'm pushing my luck, and leaves. I hear him in the garage yelling at something, probably his phone. Mom comes back in and starts up again, saying she's never been so disappointed, that I'm ruining my brother's big day, that all she wanted was for the family to look good for. She's got this thing about appearances, like she needs everyone online to think she's the best mom ever, and having a perfect party for Wesley is her big chance. She says she already invited half the neighborhood and some people from church, and if it falls apart, it's all on me. She gets right up in my face, tries to shove me again. I sidestep and she hits the table instead. Then she tells me I'm not allowed at the party if I'm not going to help. I just tell her I wasn't planning on it. Honestly, at this point, I'm not even hurt, just mad. Like, really mad. I can't even scroll my phone without getting more texts from family. My aunt, my cousin, even some old family friend who I haven't seen in years. All of them asking what's going on, why I'm being difficult. I know exactly who's feeding them this story. I reply with the screenshots. Just the catering stuff and her last few texts. Nothing else. Not trying to make myself look good, just letting them see I'm not making this up. Some of them believe me, some don't. My cousin just sends LMAO classic Janice. Which fair. So I go to my room and just sit there thinking why do I let this keep happening? If I do nothing, they win. If I fight back, I'm the villain. So fine, I'll be the villain. I start thinking about all the ways this party could go sideways, and not just by not paying. I'm not going to do anything illegal or whatever. But I don't have to make it easy for them either. First thing I do, I call the catering place myself. I tell them there's a payment issue and that I'm not authorizing anything under my name, and if they don't get a deposit from Janice, they should probably cancel. The woman on the phone tries to act like it's not a big deal, but I can tell she's stressed. I hang up and feel better already. Then I find out Mom put me down as the contact for the cake place too, so I call them and do the same thing. I say I never agreed to any of this and they need to talk to her, not me. They say okay, but now she gets a bunch of calls from confused vendors. She comes storming into my room and actually tries to grab my phone out of my hand. I pull away and she slaps my arm. Not hard, but enough to make her point. I just stare at her and say, "You can't force me to pay for your fantasy." She storms out, slams the door so hard the mirror shakes. Later that night, I'm sitting in the kitchen and Wesley finally shows up. He's acting all casual like nothing's happening, but he glances at Mom and then at me, like he's waiting to see who's gonna snap first. He gets a plate of food and sits as far away from me as possible. Mom's on her phone texting nonstop. Dad's watching some sports thing, but clearly not paying attention. Nobody says anything for a while. Then Mom gets up and says if this party falls apart, she'll make sure everyone knows it's because of me. She says I don't deserve to be part of this family if I'm not willing to help. I just say, cool. Then stop using my name for stuff you want me to pay for. She walks over and tries to push me out of my chair. I don't move. She gives up and goes to her room. Dad tells me I should apologize. I tell him to mind his own business. He gets up and leaves too. I spend the rest of the night forwarding more of her guilt trip texts to the family group chat. I don't even add commentary, just screenshots. People start arguing in the chat, some saying she's being unfair, some saying I should just help out for once. I stop reading after a while. I'm not trying to win anyone over. I just want them to see what she's actually like. By the end of the night, Mom's posted another Facebook status about betrayal from within and how family isn't always what it seems. I don't even bother looking at the comments. I know how this is going to go. She's going to ramp up the drama until people start siding with her out of pity. But now she's got a mess to clean up with the vendors, and I'm not doing a thing to help. I know this isn't over. She's going to keep pushing, Dad's going to keep threatening, Wesley's going to keep pretending he's above it all. But for once, I'm not backing down. If she wants to make this a war, then fine. I'm not the one who started it, but I'll make sure I'm the one who ends it. Next part's when things really start to unravel. She thinks I'm done. Nah, I'm just getting started. Update 2. So I thought after I made it clear I wasn't paying, maybe Mom would just give up and deal. Not even close. If anything, she got louder. Like literally louder. The next morning, she's on the phone in the hallway, talking to Rocco, my dad, at work, but saying stuff super loud on purpose so I overhear. How I'm ruining the family. How she'll never recover from this kind of disrespect. Like I'm some villain out of a soap opera. Whatever. The weird part is, Wesley was actually up early, which almost never happened. He's in the kitchen, on his phone, looking kind of stressed even though he's pretending to scroll memes. I didn't say anything, but it was weird. He usually acts like none of this is his problem, but now it's his name on the line, not mine. Guess that's what it takes to get his attention. Then the calls start again. First the cake place, then some guy from the venue, both asking if I'm confirming the payments or if Janice is handling it. I just say, talk to her. I'm not involved. I can hear her in the next room yelling at the phone, then yelling at Dad, then back to the phone. I start to get texts from my aunt like, can't I just pay this one time to keep the peace? I send her the screenshots. Same as before. She replies with, wow, didn't realize it was like that. IDK if you've ever seen a family group chat explode, but ours is basically just people yelling in text at this point. Some cousins are saying Mom's being dramatic. Others are like, family is family. You should just help. I'm not arguing with anybody, just dropping screenshots and muting the chat. It's not about them. It's about me being sick of getting walked on. I'm not even mad at the rest of them, just done. Mom tries a new tactic later. She comes into my room and closes the door behind her, sits on my bed. She tries to go soft, says she just wants what's best for everyone, that she's under a lot of pressure. She tells me she knows I'm not like Wesley, and that's okay. But I need to help for the sake of the family. I just shake my head and tell her it's not happening. She asks if I'd at least write a check for half. I say no. She stands up, slaps her own thigh, not me this time, and storms out, slamming the door so hard the stuff on my dresser. So she goes for plan C. She gets Dad involved again. Now he's texting me from work saying if I don't apologize and help out, it's time I start looking for somewhere else to stay. I reply with, sure, maybe I will. I guess he wasn't expecting me to call his bluff because I get a second text a few minutes later that's just, let's talk tonight. I ignore it. Around lunch, Mom comes in the kitchen and starts yelling that the caterer is threatening to cancel if they don't get a deposit. She says I ruined everything by interfering, and that everyone will know it's your fault. I tell her again I'm not paying, and I'm not coming to her fake party. She tries to push past me to get to my phone on the counter. I grab it before she can. She slaps my hand and tells me not to embarrass her. I say she does a good enough job of that herself. Wesley finally gets involved. He comes out of his room, all dramatic like he's doing us a favor by showing up. He says I should just pay if I have the money, it's not that big a deal. And I'm making Mom cry for no reason. I tell him to pay for his own party since he's the big deal now. He actually shoves me. Not hard, but enough to try to make a point. I shove him back. Mom yells at both of us to stop and then kicks a chair. I just walk out of the kitchen. And that night, I'm basically done with all of them. I pack a bag just in case, send out a message to a couple friends, seeing if I can crash if I need to. I'm not even worried, just over it. I hear Mom on the phone with her sister crying about how I ruined Wesley's graduation and how she's never been so betrayed. I hear her say, I don't know what he wants from us. We've given him everything. I laugh to myself. Everything except respect. The best part is, the group chat is now out of control. Some relatives are asking why I'm being punished for not paying. Others are saying they're not coming if there's family drama. The whole thing blows up. I see mom scrolling Facebook, deleting comments off her post about Wesley, probably because people are asking where I am, why I'm not in the pics, why I'm not mentioned. She tries to keep the story straight, but she's bad at it. Next day is supposed to be party prep. Instead, the house is a disaster. Mom is on the phone nonstop. Dad's out back pretending to fix something. Wesley is sulking in his room. I hear mom start crying again, saying she can't breathe, and no one helps her. I don't do anything. I just walk out and go get coffee. I get a text from Wesley. First time in months he's texted me first, asking if I'll just show up at the party even if I don't pay. To keep the peace. I leave him on read. I'm not doing it, not even for him. Then mom tries something. She says if I don't help, she's telling everyone I stole from the family, which is wild. I literally pay rent and buy my own stuff. I just say, go ahead, see if anyone believes you. I don't care anymore, I really don't. By dinner, no one's talking. Mom makes something for herself and leaves the dishes. Dad eats in front of the TV. Wesley microwaves something and goes back to his room. I eat in the garage. I hear yelling later, but I tune it out. What's wild is, for the first time, I don't feel guilty. I just feel done. Like actually done. The last thing that happens before I crash is mom coming to my door. She knocks. I don't answer. She opens it anyway, stands there for a sec and says she hopes I'm happy now. I say I'm not, but I will be. She slams the door and walks away. So yeah, things are falling apart and I'm not lifting a finger to fix it. I meant it when I said I'm not backing. I'm not going to that party. I'm not paying. I'm not saving them from the mess they made. If they want to see what happens when they push too far, fine. Let's see. Next part, I'll tell you what actually went down the night before the party and why they started blowing up my phone like the house was on fire. I finally did something I swore I'd never do. Stay tuned. Final update. Alright, so here's how it went down, and I still can't believe they didn't see it coming. Like for real, they acted shocked, like I'd never stand up for myself. But at some point, you just get tired of eating shit, right? So it's the night before the party and the whole house is tense. I barely see Wesley all afternoon, just hear him stomping around upstairs with the door slamming every time someone walks by. Mom is in the kitchen, on speakerphone with her sister, crying about how she doesn't know what went wrong. And no one appreciates her. Dad is outside pretending to do yard work in the dark, which is just weird, but whatever. I'm in my room packing up a bag. Just essentials, nothing major. I'm not running away or whatever. I'm just not sticking around for the show. Here's the thing. I always told myself I'd stick it out to save money. Just put up with their drama until I could actually afford a place that wasn't a shoebox. But after all this, I realized I'd rather couch surf than feel like trash in my own house. So yeah, I finally did what I promised myself I wouldn't. I left. Not a dramatic exit. Not yelling or slamming doors, just left. And I made sure to leave a little going away present. Before I left, I printed out copies of the texts Mom had sent me about the party, the guilt trips, the whole "you owe us for existing" bit. I didn't add my own commentary, just straight up screenshots, printed and in an envelope. One for her, one tucked in Dad's sock drawer, and one slid under Wesley's door. I also dropped a quick message in the family chat with just a photo of the envelopes and wrote, "I'm out, ask Janice why." Then I blocked Mom, Dad, and Wesley on my phone. Not forever, just until the party was done. I know that sounds petty, but TBH, they earned it. I texted my friend Rocco, different from my dad, just a guy I know from, and asked if I could crash on his couch for the night. He just sent back, "You're always welcome, bro." So I grabbed my bag, left the house through the garage, and just walked out. Nobody stopped me. Nobody even noticed I was gone. I got to Rocco's place and he gave me a beer. Didn't even ask for details. We put on some dumb show and just hung out like normal. The only weird part was my phone, buzzing constantly. Family group chat, Facebook DMs, even a couple calls from numbers I didn't recognize. I didn't look at any of them at first. I just let it go. Next morning, I woke up to like 40 missed calls and a wall of unread texts. The first one that actually made me laugh was from my aunt. "Your mom is in tears. She can't breathe. You need to come home." Then another from Wesley. "I can't do this without you. Please just come to the party. I'm not going on stage alone." And then my dad. "Just come back. We'll do anything. Just fix this." Like, now they want to negotiate? Nah. I found out from my cousin Angela, she's actually cool, probably the only sane one in the family, that the party was a total mess. Catering never got paid, so they canceled. Half the decorations didn't show because my name was on the order, and Mom never fixed it. Some people showed up and left when they realized there was no and apparently Mom spent the entire time crying in the bathroom saying she couldn't breathe. Dad tried to hold it together, but he was just mad the whole time. And Wesley? He apparently refused to go on stage for his little honors speech unless I was there. Said he wouldn't do it without his brother. I gotta admit, that part surprised me. Not enough to go back, but still. The best was the texts. I actually scrolled through them later that night and it was pure panic. Mom saying I humiliated the family, Dad saying I was destroying everything they worked for, Wesley begging me to just come fix it, even offering to split the cost if I'd just show up. They even tried to guilt me with stuff like, do it for Grandma, she's so upset. Angel, I felt a little bad for Grandma, but she also sent me a text saying she understood why I left, so I guess she's not buying the drama either. Neighbors started asking questions. Mom tried to spin it like the catering company messed up. But enough people had seen the family group chat receipts that nobody was buying it. I didn't even need to say anything. All I did was finally step out of the way and let them deal with the mess they made. By the end of the weekend, I got one last text from Mom. You've made your point. I just replied, yeah, I did. Then I left it at that, so that's it. I said I wouldn't ever just walk out, but I did. And I made them actually feel what it's like to lose the one person who always bailed them out. I'm still at Rocco's for now, looking for a new place, but honestly, I don't regret it at all. It sucks to say, but sometimes your family's just your family on paper. I got other people who actually treat me decent. If they want me back, it's on my terms now, not theirs. And that's how it's gonna stay. Thanks for reading all this, FR. If you're dealing with stuff like this, just know you don't have to take it forever. You really don't.